Okay, so we'll start chapter two, and here are some of the goals that we'll have for this chapter. We're going to explain how research questions, hypotheses, and predictions are all related to each other. The different sources of ideas for research outlined include common sense, practical problems, observation of the world around us, theories, and past research as well. I'm going to explain two functions of what a theory is, comparing and contrasting three kinds of journal articles, literature reviews, theory articles, and empirical research. And then we're going to summarize what's commonly included in the major sections of research, the abstract, intro, methods, results, and discussion sections, all of which you will construct for your final project as well. And then we're going to go through how to do searches on the database. So when we talk about research questions, this is going to be just the first general step in the research process. It's going to be specific enough you can actually answer it, and so it's not going to be overly broad necessarily. So, for example, a research question may be, as we can look here, again, it's a description of the broad topic of the study. Are there differences among groups in terms of cell phone use while driving? That's fairly specific, but general enough to move into a more comprehensive research question as we get it more whittled down. So, a hypothesis is a tentative answer to the research question. So, an example of this, okay, in regard to this, do males and females differ in their use of cell phones while driving? Okay. And then we have the prediction. This is a guess of what the outcome of the study is going to be. So the predictive nature of something affects something else. And so it must follow directly from the hypothesis. It has to be testable and has to include specific variables and methodologies. So in regard to the prediction here, females are more likely to use a cell phone while driving. Okay, and that is something, again, it's coming directly from the hypothesis, and it is testable, and it includes specific variables. So we have, we have females, we have cell phone use, and we have driving. So those are going to be our variables that we study. Okay, so sources of ideas. Common sense consists of the things we all believe to be true. Testing common sense ideas can be valuable because such notions, they don't always turn out to be correct, even though, again, we think that they are common sense. So practical problems can have immediate applications as well. And observation of the world around us can provide a lot of ideas for research. So just what we experience in our everyday world can provide the basis for any of the research that we conduct. And much of the research in behavioral sciences tests theories of behavior. And another source is going to be past research, and being familiar with literature on a specific topic can show either inconsistencies in results that need to be investigated, or limitations that may need to be investigated, or even gaps. So there's little pockets of a topic that may not actually be studied yet. And so those can all be ideas for research. Okay, so then we have theories. This is going to be a systematic body of ideas about a particular topic or phenomenon. They're going to organize and explain specific facts or descriptions of behavior. So as an example of a theory, maybe we'll have evolutionary theory. And what evolutionary theory may do is it might provide the basis for better understanding why some people may believe in conspiracy theories. Again, using that theoretical framework, you may be able to, again, predict and then study why people believe in conspiracy theories, as conspiracy theories were evolutionarily adaptive at one point in time to believe them. It actually kept groups of humans safe as they were more skeptical of other groups, thus leading them to be more ready for attack or attacked others, thus keeping them alive longer. And so that theory can underlie the thought like, oh, this is why some people might believe in conspiracy theories today, because there's that evolutionary basis for it. So again, they help generate new knowledge, focusing on thinking what we notice about new aspects of behavior. Again, why do people believe in conspiracy theories? That could be one reason why. And the theories are grounded in data from prior research and other numerous hypotheses that are consistent with the theory. So, again, evolutionary theory, you can go back as far as Darwin, and then even since Darwin, we've done a vast array of research that provides a stronger foundation and framework to base it on, resulting in a strong theory. But here's the thing, it's not a law necessarily. It can be modified as new information is gained. So as we do continue to do research and we do continue to learn new things, a theory can always be amendable or it can be even falsifiable if we find enough information to refute it. Okay, so we do have different types of journal articles. We have literature reviews, theory articles, and empirical articles. So literature reviews, again, they're going to provide summaries of previous research on a particular topic. You are going to need to do a literature review for your project. And so basically, it's going to provide an overall, up to the point in time the article was published, it's going to provide an overall synopsis of the research up to that point that has been conducted on that topic. Also, meta-analyses, that is also going to be in this realm because it's going to use statistical procedures to bring together the information that we know so far about a topic, all of these studies, and combine them to develop an overall results, statistical results as to whatever the topic is. So literature reviews and meta-analyses are, I would say, very good sources of information for you to use when developing your literature review. Okay, there's also theory articles. This is going to summarize and integrate research to provide a new framework for understanding a phenomena. So this could be an article that was initially written to develop, and again, I'll use evolutionary theory, but it's obviously very, very old, the original article that aided in the development of the theory of evolution. For another example would be strain theory. There's an initial article that was written to provide that the basis for that theory. This is kind of the seminal research that is conducted on a theory and is pretty integral in being included in your literature review in order to better understand the topic at hand. Also, again, these are the types of your research reports and any sort of academic article. There's going to be studies in which data were gathered to answer a research question. So this is your basic academic research, research study. They're going to include 5 sections. You're going to have your abstract, you're going to have an introduction, and then a literature review in most cases. Method, so how did we collect all the data? Results, or the results of analysis, and discussion as well. So, again, I do encourage you to use this as you're developing your own, but there are other resources as well on Canvas you can use to develop these sections of your final project. But the abstract, it's just a summary of the entire research you conducted, the entire research report. This is the last thing you're going to write. Usually between 150 and 250 words, the hypothesis, procedure, and again, the broad implications of the results that you gained. You're not going to include much from the discussion section. In the introduction, you're going to outline your problem statement and why you're investigating what you're investigating. You also might include past research and theories that are going to bolster your argument for studying this topic. And then specific expectations are noted often as formal hypotheses, and this is what I predict is going to happen in this study. The methods section, you're going to have, these can be subsections if you would like to use. They commonly include, what research design are you using? In this case, you are going to use a quantitative correlational research design. That is going to be the research design and methodology that you are going to use for this course. In other research, maybe you're using a qualitative design or qualitative methodology, and maybe like a phenomenological or general qualitative design. Characteristics of participants. Okay, who did you collect data from? What are their demographics? How many people did you collect data from? And then what was the procedure in which you used to collect that data? And then what were the testing materials and equipment you used to collect that data? So basically what you're doing is you're offering a complete blueprint for any future researchers to replicate your study to a T. So this is all going to be extremely specific. So you would be able to inform somebody in the future to basically replicate your study. The results section, and again, we're going to do some basic statistical analysis in this class, and this is where you would report this. It's going to be in narrative form. You're going to describe the statistical language, and I will guide you through this since this is not a statistics class, but we will be using that. And again, describing what you garnered from the statistical analysis of your data, and then you may also have tables or graphs as well. Then in the discussion section, again, you're basically reviewing the research that you described in the method and results section from a variety of perspectives. So do the results support the hypothesis, what you expected to find in the study? And then how the results compare with past research on the topic. So does it jive with research that has already been done? And what are the applications of this research to the future, and what do you recommend future researchers do based upon what you learned from your study? So when it comes to exploring past research, there's a wide array of scholarly journals. We have some in which the researchers get published. And when it comes to researchers, as you study a specific topic, you're going to see certain researchers' names over and over and over again. Most people are going to specialize in a specific topic through their life and study that primarily. So online scholarly research databases are used to find this information. APA PsycInfo is one of those. And so this is nice and everything, but I'm going to run you through this. If you already know how to do this, you can tune out or skip ahead. But when you get into your apps, okay, this is your apps dashboard. You probably have Canvas, maybe Campus Web. I know you don't have all of these, but you're going to go to LibSearch. That's where you're going to click on. So we're looking for academic articles, which you will need to include in your literature review. And I think I'm not signed in. Okay, so go ahead and sign in. Hopefully it allows me to sign in. We're going to see what happens here. And if you have any problems signing in, please get a hold of the ladies in the Learning Commons, specifically Sarah Green, who is fantastic and can help you get a login. So this is where we're at here. All right, so we're going to go to database search. So we're going to look at what databases, and you're welcome to look through an A to Z list. You can come all the way down here if you want to. Multidisciplinary. Okay, let's just go to the A to Z list, because this is what I'm going to recommend that you do. Because you can go to specific databases, but what is going to be most helpful is to use all of the databases. Okay, so, all right, full text availability. We'll go to this, and it should go ahead and take us to the search page. All right, here we go. All right, we accept all the cookies, whatever. All right, so we got Academic Search Premier, but here's what I recommend. Click on Choose Databases, select all of them. You might find information in areas that you may not have otherwise thought about. So again, going back to that hypothesis that we had at the beginning of the chapter, maybe we're looking at, again, the prediction that females use cell phones, are more likely to use cell phones when they're driving. So we might go ahead and search cell phone use. And maybe we use gender in there and driving. So there are our variables. You can be more specific here, but in general, again, use the specific variables, hit search, Now, there's a couple of things we're going to look at here. Not very much. Okay. So you're going to need to come down here and click these three. All right. You want the references. You want to make sure there's references available. Man, that really, you should click the references available, but if you don't, you at least need peer-reviewed journals. Otherwise, you're going to get opinion pieces, and otherwise, you need those peer-reviewed journals. That is going to enhance the credibility of the information you're looking for. Also, if you would like to change and get either like you want seminal research, you can go all the way back to the beginning, so you can pull this different ways. Or if you want research like in the last 5 years or 3 years, that's going to be the most recent, up-to-date research that we have on a topic. You can pull that different ways. Okay, so you at least need the peer-reviewed piece here. You at least need the peer-reviewed. Okay, so driver regression. And you can kind of go through some of this. All right. And again, this isn't going to be overly helpful in regard to exactly what we were looking for. But we're just going to look at this article right here. And this is going to be an empirical study in regard to this. Some of them are going to have HTML documents that you can just obtain at the bottom. But this has a PDF text available. And again, as we were discussing, you got your abstract. Here's your introduction. And you have your methods. So again, you can kind of find like, okay, how is a research report structured? You have your instrument. Again, how did we analyze the data? Then you have the results. And then also, instead of a discussion, there is a comment here. And that is all. And then, of course, you have your references section. Okay, one other thing about this. All right, so maybe you found some information in there that you're interested in using. Now, the best way in order to get the citation for this article, on the right side of the screen, there's the cite button. Yep, we don't want ABNT or AMA. We want APA 7th edition. Here is your reference that you can copy and paste into, that will go at the end of your report or end of your paper. And then your reference would be Kramer et al., 2007 in text. Okay, so that would be the easiest way to do this. So if you have questions about this entire process, let me know. But hopefully that gives you a basic idea of how this is structured. Then also, yes, here's the anatomy of a standard reference. I think this is up to date. That is up to date. That is APA 7. But in general, there's citation machines, there's this in the databases that can help you structure or craft those much easier than doing it by hand. So again, hopefully I gave you an idea of how to use not only PsycInfo, but all of the databases. Also, you can use Web of Science, Scopus. You can also use Google Scholar. You can also use Sci-Hub. I've talked about Sci-Hub in previous classes. There's a link to that in the course resources. So if there's an article you find online, but there's a paywall or you have to pay for it, in most cases, you can copy and paste the title of that article into Sci-Hub, and it should bring it up for you. If you have any questions about Sci-Hub, let me know as well. Let's see here. Yep, psych articles and psych books. I believe we have those. PubMed, Eric. But again, if you hit basically choose databases, all databases, it's going to include all of the information from this. And we do only have 29 databases at this school, so I would use all of the databases possible. Internet searches, and again, if in general, like .gov websites are going to provide pretty good statistical analyses, or data. Otherwise, maybe some .edu sites might have valid information. .coms, .orgs, I would question. If you have questions about the validity of the information you're using, let me know. Let's see here. So here's just some general strategies if you would like to take into consideration as you're looking for articles. If you need more help, Looking for articles, let me know as well. And again, here's some Google search strategies as well. Looking for a specific phrase, specify a set of and words or phrases. Each of the results of your search will include the words or phrases, or words or phrases to expand it, not words or phrases to limit your search. So with that being said, if you do have questions about finding previous literature on your topic or the construction or format of a research report, please let me know. Please also check out the resources in Canvas. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. And I hope that you have a great day.